Hello, hello. Today I've been thinking a bit about how Mosaic and ChatGPT are similar, and that's what we'll be talking about today. Specifically, I was speaking with a colleague, we had coffee recently, and we both remembered what it felt like to see the first mosaic. So I'll actually show you the first mosaic images if they don't come quickly to your mind. So here are some of the first early mosaic images. Remember this? So that's what mosaic used to look like. And there are some similarities, as you'll see, in some of the earliest things that you could do with mosaic and some of the earliest things we can all do with Chat GPT. So let me just jump into them. But again, let me show some images for those who didn't remember very much about mosaic. So that is one. This is a Wired article. But if you just look up Mosaic browser in Google Images, you'll see some of the things like early websites. So you're going to see, I hope you can see all this, but you're going to see things like even this is a website for the company Novell. You will see things like a very early Apple website. You're going to see articles on the web. You're going to see articles for academic papers. So just some really early indications. So let's set that aside and let's go directly to what are some of the similarities between our current Chat GPT and early Mosaic. So I have 8 that I have found. So tell me what you're seeing, but here are some that I found. And to make this fun, I actually had a conversation with Chat GPT talking about these 8. And so you'll see that I'm using some of the results. Actually, Chat GPT was a little bit wrong about its own history at some point, but I'll get to that. All right. So it's going to be that I'm going to tell you about how they're both revolutionary and groundbreaking. Obviously, you're aware of that, about how they're easier to use than things before. And because of this, because they're easier to use, they have generated ways for us to use newer technology. They have similar early users. I'll talk about that. They've driven the adoptions of additional technologies. People need to learn some specific skills to use them. They have resulted, both Mosaic and ChatGPT, in some novel use cases, and some of the first people to make money in both Mosaic and ChatGPT are pretty similar. So let's go through all of these. Yes, they are both revolutionary and groundbreaking. This is not new. For those who remember Mosaic or know about it, it was the first browser that helped browse the World Wide Web in a lot of different ways. So I'll get into some of the details that it had, such as hyperlinks and visual, being able to put images next to text. And then with ChatGPT, as we have all been using and exploring and playing around with, it's really the ability to perform a lot of natural language processing type language, which makes it seem very human-like. And also some of the things that ChatGPT has gotten a lot of accolades for is for its high level of accuracy. Not 100%, but I'll preview what ChatGPT got wrong about itself. One of the similarities, so I'll show you. I'll kind of play around and show you this. I asked ChatGPT, how are you and Mosaic different, and how are you the same? And so it went through a few of these things that I'm talking about, including being revolutionary. But one of the things that I wonder if it's here that it got a little bit wrong. It said both of us, both Mosaic and ChatGPT, were created in a university, and so that is true about Mosaic, but it is not entirely true about ChatGPT, which is created by OpenAI, a private research firm. So, okay, it's revolutionary. They are both easier to use than what happened before. So what I mean by that is they were both developed to make where they work, the World Wide Web and natural language processing, more accessible and user friendly. That has been the goal, and so they are easier to use. Because of this, here are some of the things that I mentioned that I'll talk about the new technologies. So what do we have? In Mosaic, we had, like I mentioned, inline images, so you could see images alongside text. We had hypertext links, which are old hat for all of us right now, and a graphical user interface. For ChatGPT, some of the things that are this new technology is that the responses are human-like and they're easy to understand. And as I mentioned before, a high level of accuracy. So here's what I found pretty interesting. I started to think, who were some of the early users of Mosaic and who were some of the early users who have been some of the early users of ChatGPT. And if you think about it, we know that for Mosaic, it was researchers, academics, it was certainly government agencies. And now for ChatGPT, even before all of us started using it, it was researchers, data scientists, and developers who still continue to. So somewhat similar early users. Additionally, because they exist, Mosaic and ChatGPT, because they are easy to use, they've driven more adoption. So Mosaic drove the rapid adoption, the wide adoption of the web. Clearly, you use Mosaic, you can get to more. Their companies start putting more on websites, and with ChatGPT, it's driven the rapid adoption also of asking for information through prompts. So pretty much everything that I see about ChatGPT on my LinkedIn feed is about, hey, try these prompts, these 87 prompts, these 143 prompts. And I love it. I'm a big consumer. I'm very interested in figuring out what prompts lead ChatGPT to do what. So it is making us understand more about how to give prompts in the same human-like and natural language processing way. So in order to do this, to use Mosaic and ChatGPT, us humans have had to develop some skills to do that. So for Mosaics, we've had to develop skills about what are hyperlinks and how do we navigate the web in a graphical UI. So this is years and years ago. For ChatGPT, we have to start to understand what output machine learning is. What is it? What does it give us? Where are accuracies? Where are inaccuracies? And we also very much need to learn how to give prompts in this natural language processing way. And what I think is super interesting is that both of these have resulted in some newish, some unique, like some novel use cases. For Mosaic, it was that people started getting new information, and for ChatGPT, it's that people are starting to create and generate new information. For Mosaic, it was getting new information like company pages, other information. For ChatGPT, if you ask ChatGPT, ChatGPT will say that some of the most unique ways, although it caveats and says, hey, unique is in the eyes of the beholder, but some of the most unique things that people have done with ChatGPT are to generate fiction, generate poetry, generate music, generate, what else did it? Oh, code, generate code. So you're seeing the difference, getting information from Mosaic, but creating new information for AI. So that's both novel use cases. And then, which is a big thing that I'm seeing in my LinkedIn feed, is who are the first people to make money on Mosaic and on ChatGPT. So on Mosaic, it has been developers and early pioneers of the web. Sure, you need to know some things about the browser and how to develop for it, and also be an early pioneer, such as, of course, search engines. For ChatGPT, it's been so, I don't know. I don't know about this answer, but it seems that it's ChatGPT believes that the earliest people to make money using ChatGPT are, and I'll quote ChatGPT to us, researchers and developers who have been using it to improve their products and services, thus making money. That seems like a little bit of a soft answer. So I think there's more to explore there. So thank you so much for exploring this with me. I hope you have similar curiosities and are playing around with ChatGPT. Again, today was how are Mosaic and ChatGPT similar? Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. All the best.